Would you still call yourself a feminist, if I can just ask you that? And what's happened to feminism that so many self-described feminists now would say you're an outsider, you're not a feminist?
I think there's a whole generation of older feminists like me who no longer call themselves feminists. I mean, I was a feminist when feminism was about equality, about levelling the playing field, giving women an opportunity to find their rightful place, particularly in the public world, which was tremendously important and exciting when we achieved that. But what feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonisation of males, presenting them always at a disadvantage. And I don't want to have any part of that. I was writing recently about boys' education, which is something I've written about for many decades. And I came across an article I wrote 40 years ago where we just started to notice how badly boys were doing vis-a-vis girls. I mean, we'd had 10 years of programs trying to help girls do better in the schools, which was fantastic. And a lot of girls who had been held back by traditional assumptions about, girls not speaking up and girls not doing well in maths were now beginning to shine, which was a fantastic thing. But what was becoming very obvious is there were also a lot of boys falling behind and not achieving their potential. Anyway, I was talking to this director of curriculum and I said, what will we do if boys continue to fall behind? And she said, we'll wait 2,000 years and analyse the results very, very carefully. And she said, oh no, that was only a joke. But of course, that's exactly what they've done. We have really very much feminist ideology infiltrating all our education systems, systematic programs to continue to advantage girls, and no one taking any notice of the fact that boys are falling out in huge numbers. Boys are not finishing school, they're less likely to finish school than they used to. We have 60% of graduates are now women. If you look at the NAPLAN, the skills test done in high school, in year 9 NAPLAN results, writing tests, the girls are 2 years ahead of boys on average. Boys are filling the remedial reading classes, you name it. Every measure of boys dropping out, being disengaged from schools is showing up this real problem. We've had 2 investigations, 2 inquiries, New South Wales Parliament, Federal Parliament, thousands of parents coming forward saying they're really worried to see no boys winning prizes anymore. I mean, it's fantastic to see all the girls, but they're conscious of how badly a lot of the boys are doing and how disinterested they are, because so many of the ways we teach are designed to appeal to women's strengths and girls' strengths. And both of these inquiries, they determined they would implement all these new policies to help to bring boys up, and they were both tossed out. As soon as the coalition government was thrown out, Labor, the mean girls in Labor, decided we didn't want a bar of that. You mentioned Warren Farrell. He makes a very telling comment saying, this is the first time ever we've seen a generation of boys who are going to be less educated than their fathers. And that's happening here. That's really chilling. And no one cares, John. No one notices any of this.
Seems important to me to say that it's I have 3 daughters. It's a tremendous thing that they are getting the best possible education, reaching their potential. That's not what's in question.
No.
But that was very interesting. You're saying a generation of boys less educated
than their fathers. Because always we've tried to bring our children up. We want them to do better than us. We want them to be better educated. And that's happening certainly with our girls, but no one will acknowledge that our boys are not going to be as educated as their fathers were. Now, why won't we look at that?